Happy Sweetest Day, sweetest. Okay, before we all need an insulin shot, let's get down to business. How many people do we have playing? Groovy. Player 1, talk to me. What's your name? Good enough. Player 2, you're up.
45 seconds.
Thanks. Player 3, start typing. Let's get this baby rolling. Pick which episode you want to play.
Seconds.
Player 1, you've got to buzz in on the letter Q. That's Q as in a quaint Quaker, the one who makes oatmeal. Player 2, your buzzer is B as in burping a baby. And player 3, you're the letter P as in persistent.
20 seconds.
So, looky here. This is how it works. The first one of you to buzz in on a question gets first stab at the answer. So, you buzz in, then you press 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on which answer you want. Read me? Now be careful.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Hey kids, stay in school. Look both ways before crossing the street. There, hopefully that'll satisfy the community service portion of my sentence. Apparently it's illegal to do naked jumping jacks in the park on a Sunday afternoon. I don't know who came up with that law. Hey, don't do drugs. Wash behind your ears and between your legs. Yeah, there you go. Okay. First of all, we're going to need some pointy objects. Okay, word on the screws. If you get to a question that you know your neighbor doesn't have the answer to, show no mercy. Buzz in, hit the S key, and screw them. Believe me, it's fun. Now then, I hope you went before we left because it's time. Let's have a category, player 1. Hey! We're calling this one, That Chamber's a Gas. Get this one right, you get $1,000. So you've heard how on the night of an execution, the condemned prisoner gets a big last meal, right? Well, given what cyanide gas smells like, what dessert might a prisoner think is on its way when he's in the gas chamber? Peanut butter brownies, orange sherbet, chocolate-covered coffee beans, or toasted almond ice cream? It's all you, player 3. Well, that'll look nice on the mantle. Cyanide smells like almonds, though I'd love to know who was the idiot who volunteered to find out. Player 3, why don't you pick one? Coming at you, detention al dente. You get this one right, you get 3,000 greenbacks. Think fast, it's question time. If you were literally sentenced to 40 lashes with a wet noodle, which of the following will not inflict the sharp sting of pasta across your back? Linguine, risotto, soba, or vermicelli? Player 2, go! Risotto is a rice, not a pasta. So, if somebody's whipping risotto at you, it's a wetting, which is a punishment that will last a hell of a lot longer than 40 lashes. Player 2, take your pick. The category is Mario obligatory nickname Mafia. How does $2,000 sound? Here's the question. Based on his or her nickname, which lawbreaker most likely suffered from jaundice? George Babyface Nelson, Jake Greasy Thumb Guzik, Alice Squeaky Frome, or Joseph Yellow Kid Wild? Take a shot, player 2. Jaundice is a symptom of various liver diseases. When you're afflicted, your skin and the whites of your eyes turn yellow. And that's how I got the name Yellow Kid. So tell me, why does they call you grapefruit-sized Tumor Jones? What's it gonna be, player 2? Well, what do we have here? The witness would make a great gavel. I'm gonna give away $3,000 this time. Let's see how you handle this one. Imagine Pinocchio is on the witness stand at a trial, committing which of the following would not make his nose grow? Sedition, prevarication, slander, or perjury? Player 2, grab it! Prevarication, slander, and perjury all refer to dishonest actions. Sedition refers to attempting to overthrow the government.
We must overthrow the tyranny of Geppetto. Come on, people. Are you all just puppets for the man?
No! Oh, actually, no, we are, really.
Player 2, how about a category? All right, flesh, butt, spits, I'm poor.
It's time for a Flip for Dish Mess Fun.
Let's see if you can make some sense out of this gibberish category. Gary Hart's monkey is in business. $5,000 sounds like a good place to start off this gibberish question. Now here's the deal. The more time you take, the less cash you get. Okay, tell me what this piece of useless gibberish rhymes with. The chap Donna missed. First clue, it's a punishment. Now or never, player 2. Start typing and hit return. Hey, you might think that's a nothing punishment, but let me tell you, a slap on the wrist can be incredibly painful if you have carpal tunnel syndrome. Player 2, grab a category. For your enjoyment, I like my inmates extra crispy. $1,000 at stake on this one. Yep, that San Diego chicken is one hell of an entertainer, but I don't know how he keeps his cool with all those crazed fans. Imagine the San Diego chicken had to do some hard time, considering that it was the jail of the famous Birdman. In which prison would the chicken feel at home? Alcatraz, Attica, San Quentin, or the Bastille? Player 3, have at it! The Birdman of Alcatraz was an inmate who became a world authority on birds. All right, Mug, that bird mask is coming off right now. Oops. Well, I guess it wasn't a mask. Ew. What do you want to do, player 3? This one's called, that's what I call a stiff penalty. $2,000 for a correct answer. All right, get ready to buzz in and type your answer because we're going to play a little Hangman here. And I'll even give you a hint. The answer is the hanging judge from the Old West. There you go. Now type in the letters that are missing from the hanging judge's last name. Judge who? Let me show you what you should have typed in. The notorious hanging judge of the Old West was Judge Parker. He ordered several executions every year. Word has it he had a real soft spot for a hung jury, too. Player 1, give me a category. The category, all singing, all dancing, all suffering. You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Okay, so everybody knows that Andrew Lloyd Webber makes musicals out of everything from like T.S. Eliot poetry to the Bible, right? With people on roller skates and stuff. If Andrew Lloyd Webber turned the novel Crime and Punishment into a musical, what would be the most appropriate title? Raskolnikov, Karenina, Karamazov, or Yakov Smirnov? Player 3, do it! The main character in Crime and Punishment is named Raskolnikov. Yeah, see, he's a student who kills a pawnbroker and then feels guilty, so he sings about it to thousands of tourists while wearing a cat outfit and doing an Elvis impersonation. Yep, that Andrew Lloyd Webber really knows his Russian literature. Player 3, time to make a choice. Let's have a big warm welcome for, not the big house, the cozy cottage. I'll give you 4,000 clams for this bad boy. You want to know what I find misleading? That hard-ass prison called Sing Sing? Sounds like a nice enough place, right? Yeah, well, no such luck. Oh, if only there was some way to save the convicts the disappointment of finding out it's not all sing-song happiness there. Suppose that instead of serving their sentences in Sing Sing, all those nasty criminals had been sent to Shing Shing. What best describes their hard time? They shared the exercise yard with Buddhists. They were locked in a giant panda cage. They were fed herbal supplements for meals, or they showered with professional sopranos. It's all yours, player one. Shing Shing was the National Zoo's giant panda. Until he died. You know, he was the one they were always trying to get together with Ling Ling. I don't know. I figure the other prisoners won't mess around with you if they know you're a panda's sweet, sweet bitch. Player one, what are we doing? Hey, player one, nice choice. Player two and player three, relax for a while, because player one is going on a this or dat. The category for this this or dat question is, I rocked the law, and the law won. Okay, now I'm going to read off 7 last names, and for each one, I'd like you to tell me if it's a Supreme Court justice, an MTV personality, or both. As each one comes up, if it's somebody that has spent time sitting on the Supreme Court bench, press 1. If it's somebody who chose to spend their time as an MTV personality, press 2. Press 3 if it's both, and if you want to skip one, press 4. Each correct answer, you're going to get $1,000. But it's $1,000 off for each one you miss so that you don't get to. Okay, you got 30 seconds. You ready? It's showtime. Bellamy, Supreme Court or MTV? O'Connor. Kennedy. Ginsburg. Floater. Scalia. One more, but that'll do it. All right, so you picked up 5. It's not the best you could do, but let's take a look at this. All right, I need 3 more categories. Come on. Player 2, what looks good? I believe this one is called, yet again, God's Busting Our Humps. Sit up straight, this one's going to be worth $6,000. All right, in case you haven't read it in a while, the Bible expressly forbids the practice of usury. Given the translation of usury, which of the following should be added to a contemporary biblical translation? Thou shalt not pimp, thou shalt not loan shark, thou shalt not murder, or thou shalt not blackmail. Take a shot, player. Player 2, who are you going to stick it to? Player 1, you're getting screwed. What are you going to do about it? I'm warning you, God. Keep blackmailing out of the Bible or Mrs. God finds out about the Virgin Mary. Player 2, player 3, who's going to get it? Player 2, you're getting screwed. Let's give something back. Survey says... You want it, player 3? The correct answer is... Usury is the practice of lending money with interest, something that the Bible condemns. So, good Christians and Jews will all go out and stone the loan sharks, and banks who charge $1.50 to use an ATM. Player 1, your choice. Let's see what we got going. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. You get it right, you get $2,000. Oh man, I can't believe this. Money laundering is illegal? I mean, who hasn't washed some cash with a load of laundry, right? Money laundering which Monopoly bill will turn your undies pink? A $5 bill, a $10 bill, a $20 bill, or a $500 bill? Player 2, go! The $5 Monopoly bill is pink, so if it runs, it might just turn your undies pink. Not a problem for me, though. All my undies are already pink. And lacy. Did I mention the crotchless part yet? Player 2, what do you want? All right, give it up for that wasn't a very civil war. 4K coming your way for a right answer.
She's pissed.
He's pissed. We're pissed. So pissed about a question. We're pissed about.
Well, this pissed about a question letter comes to us from Patrick M. from Westchester, PA. Patrick writes,
Yeah, hey, you asked what were the last words Lincoln heard before he was shot? The last words actually were Sic Semper Tyrannis, which was Latin for thus with all tyrants, shouted by John Wilkes Booth.
well, as much as it pains me to admit it, it looks like Patrick was correct. But, tyrannical pissed letters aside, check this out. Given where he was shot and killed, what are the last words John Wilkes Booth may have heard? You just missed the boat. Right church, wrong pew. You couldn't get laid in a whorehouse. Or close the door. Were you born in a barn? Player one, do it. Player one, who's getting screwed. Player two, you gotta answer it. The unfortunate Mr. Booth was eventually discovered hiding in a barn where he got all shut up. And the last words uttered by Booth from within the barn was the cryptic, "Hay is for horses." Player one, looks like you're the one who's screwed. Your call, player two. This category is known as 12 Angry Reasons to Avoid Jury Duty. How does $4,000 grab you? Say, did you ever see that movie 12 Angry Men? It's about all these guys who have jury duty and they all get pissed off at Henry Fonda. Yeah, that Fonda could really piss people off, you know? Anyway, imagine the judge in 12 Angry Men separates the jurors by putting them each in a corner. If all the corners are used, what is the shape of the judge's courtroom? A heptagon, a dodecagon, a nonagon, or a quadrilateral? Player two, grab it! A dodecagon is a 12-sided figure and has 12 corners to stick those nasty jurors in.
Your Honor, can I take a quick bathroom break?
You're in contempt. Bailiff, place a dunce cap on the juror in the fourth corner.
Well, you've made it to the Jack Attack. Here's the deal. If you see two words that go together, buzz in and you get $2,000. If you buzz in when they don't go together, you can say goodbye to $2,000. Here's the fun part.
Remember the clue.
The words only match if they fit this clue. Latins have dark roots. Good luck getting to the root of this Jack Attack. See ya. All right, high fives all the way around. Let's look at your final scores. You got it, player two. Player two, that was magic. You were like bewitched out there, which is funny because you're surrounded by a couple of dicks. You know, the guys who played Darren. Oh, and see if this makes you wiggle your nose.
You don't know Jack!
Interesting. You all made it to the high scoreboard. makes you some sort of power trio, doesn't it? Like a triple threat? Let me know if you'd like to play another game so you can try to keep this lucky streak going. Hey, if you really like this episode and you think you'll want to replay it later, hit the letter F to make it one of your favorites. It's like having a little shortcut that'll take you right to this episode.
We think we have the answer.
Space Monkey!